Good morning. This is George Evans, President of Convergence, and this is episode 3 of Building a World-Class Sales Team. And what I've been trying to do is just present you with a very succinct view of the many things I've learned over 30 years as a Chief Revenue Officer. Some of these things might seem obvious, but it is about, process and discipline. So let me start with what defines a world-class sales team, right? So when I think about that, I think about it's a team. It's a team that hits their quota across reps, not just top performers, not just the bell curve. It's a team that builds predictable pipeline and can forecast with accuracy. And it's a team that delivers a differentiated customer experience, right? So when I think about that, there's a number of things that kind of ladder up to defining that, right? And first, the first rung of the ladder, I think, is building the right foundation, right? And this is about your sales strategy, your sales structure, the sales roles, right? And I think it's important that you first identify your go-to-market strategy. It's a very big ocean, and it's important you understand the subset of ideal clients and prospects that you want to go after: industry size, geography, complexity. The second part of that foundation is your value proposition, right? Lots of competitors. What problems do you solve? Why do you win? Do you clearly articulate why you have a better mousetrap? Then you get into designing the right structure, right? What do you want? How many salespeople do you want? Do you want junior? Do you want senior? Do you want a revenue ops team that's generating leads and pipeline? And then you need to think about really your process, right? The discovery process, the demo process, the proposal process, the closing process. So rung 1 starts with building the right foundation. Rung 2, I think, is really important, and I've learned this the hard way and the easy way over the years. Hire people for traits they have, not just experience, right? It's very easy to hire people based on their resume, but it's really important to understand the traits that you want. And some of those traits, I think, are: 1, coachability. Is that person coachable? Do they absorb feedback? Can they adapt? Are they curious? Do they ask good questions, deep questions? Do they learn fast? Are they resilient? Sales is a roller coaster. We all know that, right? And can they handle rejection? Does that impact momentum? Can they bounce back? What's their drive, right? And while I think work-life balance is very important, it's very important to get a sense of their motivation for this job. What kind of makes their motor run, right? Integrity, I think, really important. Morals, ethics, and just someone that that facilitates an aura of trust and is a trustworthy person. Very important. And then process discipline. They follow the process. They're disciplined, and they've built a repeatable process. So rung 2 is who you hire. What are the traits you look at? Rung 3 is building a repeatable sales process. So it's important to understand deal stages: proposal sent, decision made, closing, and stage your deals, and have a process in place to deal with deal risk, deal pushback. Very important. And the other thing in terms of repeatable process is proposals are templated. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% probably applies to most clients. The 20% is what you've learned about that prospect. And then your forecasting ability. How accurate can this team forecast results? Very important rung. The next run is building a culture of accountability and excellence. And I think that is really important in today's sales organization. You want pillars that exemplify things like transparency about the pipeline, that people are very open to pipeline reviews, honest forecasts. They have very high standards for the quality of the work they put out. They're not a lone wolf. They're willing to collaborate with the team. Team wins matter, not individual wins. Data driven. This is all about metrics, right? Sales is about math. Number of meetings leads to number of leads, leads to number of proposals, leads to number of wins. It's really mathematical metrics that people have to understand. The next run is thinking harder about metrics, right? What is pipeline coverage for these sales folks, right? And what part of the market are they covering? What are your expectations in terms of meeting flow, proposal flow? What are your expectations around win rates, sales cycle length, and really the old quality versus quantity. It's very easy just to stuff a pipeline with lots of mediocre or bad deals and deals that are not good fit. So I think putting emphasis on the quality of those proposals and of those prospects is important. These are really some of the metrics that matter. And then really the last rung that I want to cover is compensation and incentives. And this is the stuff that incents and reinforces the right behavior. And you want to reward behavior that drives long-term value, and you want to accelerate incentives if people perform. We've been very big on never having a ceiling for a salesperson in terms of commission, and we actually scale it up. They get paid more if they can exceed targets and bogeys. So when I put all of this together, it's really a simple blueprint to building a world-class sales team. Define your go-to-market, build a clear sales process, hire for traits, create a rigorous onboarding process for these folks, training really important, track deal leading indicators, and reinforce your culture through recognition and accountability. So I just want to thank you. I just want to share with you every couple of weeks things that I think matter in the marketplace, and I want you all to have a great day and happy hunting in the marketplace in early 2026. Thank you.